911, what is the location of your emergency?
Units have started an incomplete call. Call taker heard. Caller yelling for help. Unknown circumstances.
Take a deep breath for me, okay? Help is on the way.
Charles 35, fighting with one. 1 Charles 35, I copy. Units to start code 3 to 1 Charles 35. Sergeant to copy. Papers for you.
You're listening to the Raspy Dispatcher. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Raspy Dispatcher. My name is Ashley. Thank you so much for checking out another video on my YouTube channel where we talk about anything and everything emergency dispatch. If you like what you're seeing, you don't want to miss out on any upcoming videos, content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tell a friend. Thanks. So it has been about 4 months since I put out the videos regarding the Criticall test prep, and I definitely feel like I have come a long way. And I hope over those 4 months I have been able to help you guys learn, prepare, and really, feel like you're going to go in and dominate the Criticall test as well as any portion of your dispatch interview process. So about 4 months, over 5,000 views on one of those videos alone. I wanted to take a moment to stop and kind of go through some of the questions that I have been answering in the comment section in regards to the Criticall test from you guys. Because, if one person asks a question, probably 10 people have that same question. So I want to just take a moment, go through some of these comments with you guys, give you guys my answers to them, so we can continue to educate and prepare for the Criticall test. So let's go ahead and get into the first question. Is it mandatory to not be able to look at the keyboard while typing? No, it is not mandatory per se. During the Criticall exam, there isn't going to be an instructor going around watching your eyes, looking at the keyboard, and judging you based off that. But when talking about the job of dispatching and you needing to have the ability to multitask, it is important that you're not glued to the keyboard because, and especially in agencies that you are required to radio dispatch, you're going to need to have your eyes off your keyboard looking at the screen. So when you're looking at your screens, you're going to have multiple things going on. You're going to have your CAD up, which is the system that has all your call information. You're going to have a status screen with all the units and all the calls for service that are coming into your channel. And you're also going to have messages that officers can send you, call takers can send you, and supplemental information on a call is going to come in. So for example, if you are dispatching, a call comes in, it's a hot call. Let's say it's a weapons call. Guys walking around downtown waving a gun around. Okay? So you dispatch the call. Once you look and see what units you have available, you dispatch the call. As you are typing and voicing to the units, Charles blah blah to start, have a weapons call at blah 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 street. Here's the description. All that thing coming in. While you're reading that, more information is going to be coming in from the call takers, and it could be guys running northbound, or now he's shooting the gun. So you're going to have to be able to scan your screens in order to be successful at this job. And of course, it is something you're going to get better at as you go along doing it. Trust me, I've gotten much better since my very first week on the floor of being able to read my messages while I do other tasks. So again, it's not mandatory to get through Criticall, but it is going to be essential to be successful at this job to not be glued to your keyboard. So for the Criticall exam, they do not average your scores out. You need to pass each individual section you are being tested on in order to pass the test as a whole. And for each agency, they determine what their pass and fail marks levels numbers are. So it really depends on the agency. Definitely don't be afraid to ask questions. To ask questions of your agencies going into this process. The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you're going to be successful throughout this process. So is the number pad on the side or the top of the keyboard? So the Criticall test is very set up to be exactly the way a dispatcher is going to be dispatching, right? So we dispatch on a full keyboard. Now this is it's a small keyboard, right? But it has numbers on the top, it has numbers on the side, so it's a full keyboard, but it's kind of small compared to what we use at work. The work ones are a little thicker, but you're gonna always have a full keypad to work with. I don't know what it is, but certain things I use this for, certain things I use these for. So I don't know why, but everyone has their own quirks and habits. But yes, you will have a full keyboard, and I suggest practicing using the numbers on the side of the keyboard rather than the top. I just feel like it might slow you down a bit when using it, like when doing plates and things of that nature. I always move to my side keyboard and not the top. I think using the top one just slows me down a bit. But again, everyone has their own style, their own format. But yes, it is a full keyboard, so you will have the opportunity to use the numbers that are on the side of the keyboard rather than on top. How does Criticall compare to the post exam? They are non-identical twins. they have some similarities, but they are very different. They are both looking for the same thing, but they accomplished the journey in very different ways. So Criticall is all computer based. You're sitting there, in front of a computer, listening to the audio, answering the questions. Whereas Post, it's very multi-choice, Scantron format. You're going to be listening to the audio in a large group setting and answering questions old school in a sense on a Scantron in a booklet and then submitting your answers. So I have never taken the Post test, but I have gotten questions about Post quite often, which is why I did a Post series. So if you haven't checked that out and you're gonna have to take the Post test, make sure to take a look at that. I gathered all the information I could to present it to you guys who are prepared to take the Post test. My agency, we require Criticall, and I think a big majority of agencies do, but there are a lot of agencies that require Post as well. So being able to understand the differences but understand the similarities as well is going to be very beneficial to you having to take either test. In the Criticall test, you are not allowed a paper or pen. You have your computer, your headset, and that's it. When I went in for my Criticall, I wasn't even able to bring in my phone, no smartwatch. It all had to be left in the car. So when dealing with understanding how to type VIN numbers and license plates and anything really you are hearing audibly into your CAD system, into your program, onto your Criticall test, understanding formatting of VINs, formatting of license plates will be super beneficial, because if you know a plate's going to come, you're going to know what the format is. In California, the format is always going to be number ABC 1, 2, 3. So I know whenever one of my guys comes up with a plate, that unless he says it is an out-of-state plate, that it's going to be in that format. 1 ABC 1, 2, 3. VIN numbers, it's a mix of numbers and letters, so understanding that. Driver's license, same thing. In California, they always have a alphabet. They always have a letter in the beginning of the format. So my officer comes up wanting to run a DL, I know that first one is going to be A Adam, B boy, Y yellow. It's going to be something of that nature. So having an understanding of format is going to help you take the audio you're hearing and put it onto the screen, as well as understanding you're not trying to necessarily memorize what's being said to you, but you're trying to record what's being said to you. So you want to type while you hear. And that is a skill that you're going to develop the more and more you do this, the more and more you dispatch. But I want to type while they're saying it rather than listening and then typing, because then I'm relying on my memory solely when I can just be typing it while they're saying it to avoid having to dive into my memory for every part that they just voiced. So practicing typing while listening rather than recalling what you hear is going to be really helpful, especially for the plates and VIN numbers. And any audio where you're receiving information such as addresses, phone numbers, names, situation, typing while listening rather than typing what you heard is going to help you tremendously. So again, thank you all so much for watching my videos, subscribing, leaving comments, interacting with me, engaging with me. I really enjoy it. I hope that you have found the information we've been putting out there to be helpful. Again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer from my experience or the resources that I have with me at my comm center to be able to answer your questions. I look forward to doing more of these Q&As essentially for you guys, so we can really help each other get the answers to all the questions we have involving the process of becoming a dispatcher. So my name's Ashley. This is the Raspy Dispatcher. Show me 908. Logging off for now. See you next time.